How could this happen? How could someone treat me so terribly? I was 15 years old when my mother died. My beautiful and kind mom. The woman who fed me sweets when I was sad, smiled with me when I was happy, and read me books every night as a child. She was gone. I would never forget the day my mom was first hospitalized. It was the beginning of my last year of 8th grade. My father waited till I finished school, and when he picked me up, he told me that Mom was very sick. Stage 3 breast cancer. I knew then that everything would be different. They caught it so late that they couldn't even put her on chemo or radiation. The only thing we could do was comfort her in the last few months of her life. The smell of antiseptic and a doctor's pitying look will always haunt me. At this time, my mother only smiled to me, no matter how sick she was. She told me to be brave, that I was a strong girl, and to promise her that I would always try my best. Unfortunately, the last face I showed her was a weak girl, crying for her mom. When she was gone, my dad cried with me. During the funeral, he held my hand tightly, and he told me he loved me. Dad did his best to give us a new normal, driving me back and forth from school after he finished work, cleaning the house, and cooking dinner for me every day. Things weren't perfect. There was a hole that Mom left in our little family. When I started high school, my dad told me some big news. He wanted to get remarried. My dad worked as a manager at a local bank. His co-worker, Sheila, was always friendly with him, and when Mom died, she became flirtatious and started pursuing him. He told me that he liked her, and that he thinks that it would be best to rush the marriage process so that I could have a mother figure in my life.
I want us to be a happy family.
I haven't even met her yet, and he already wanted to marry her? What would Mom think? I felt like he was uprooting my whole life. But I also remembered how sad he's been. Every time he burnt the dinner he was making, or when he was late to pick me up from school. He always had such a sad expression. I didn't want him to be sad anymore. I don't think Mom wanted him to be sad either. I faked a smile. I'm happy for you, Dad. I can't wait to meet her. The day I met Sheila was on her wedding day with my dad. She had blonde hair, and when she looked at me, her expression was pinched sour. It was easy to notice how different she looked from my mom. The ceremony took place in a tiny little chapel, with no one there besides me as a witness. At the end of the ceremony, she came over to me with loud steps. I'm going to be your new mommy. I was filled with annoyance. I already had a mom. I didn't need a new one. It felt disrespectful that she couldn't realize she would just be my stepmother. My real mom had just passed, but my dad had a giant smile on his face. It's been so long since I've seen him so at ease. I swallowed my worry. Welcome to our family. The first few weeks of Sheila in my life were tough. It was the same house I lived in since I was born. It was also the same house my parents bought together as newlyweds. Sheila brought all her personal items and then began redecorating. She took down family pictures, saying that we would take new ones together. She purged the kitchen and replaced it with low-fat food. She had the nerve to tell me that a young girl like myself must watch my weight. Any makeup I had in my bathroom, she threw out. She told me I was going to look like a stripper if I wore any. I knew she wore makeup, and I had to hold my tongue instead of asking her why she wore makeup then. Your tank top is too tight. It makes you look fat, love. If I knew that Shane's daughter was so chubby, I would have bought you more flattering clothes, like sweaters. What hurt the most was when she put all of Mom's belongings into boxes and put them in the attic. She even covered our living room bookcase with a sheet. It ruins the atmosphere in here. My dad had started going back to longer work shifts, not coming home till the evening. After Sheila finished work, she would come pick me up. I think Dad was relieved that he had someone to share the duty of taking care of me. It drove me nuts because she was becoming ruder as the days went on. One day, I was walking out of school with my friends, Michael, Sergio, and Leo. We were from the same middle school, and they stood by me during hard times. They were a funny trio and made me laugh during class. I saw Sheila's silver Honda waiting for me. The minute I opened the door, she looked at me with disgust. She told me that I was becoming a hoe, talking to all those boys, and sooner or later, she knew I was going to end up pregnant. It hurt my feelings, and I tried not to cry. I remembered my mom's words, "Stay strong." Her bullying still went on when we got home. I let her rant, feeling worthless. This person was like an evil stepmom. She revealed her true colors to only me, an ugly gray. Well, it makes sense you dress like a slut. Your mother was one, so the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Don't worry. As your new mom, I'll change you for the better. I snapped. I had heard enough. I couldn't take it anymore. You are not my mom. The minute I raised my voice, she came close to slapping me when a loud voice came from behind us.
Who the hell do you think you are?
My dad explained that he came home early and parked down the street to surprise us. When he heard Sheila's vicious comments, he was so mad. He started taking her stuff and putting them in bags, telling her she had to leave. She was crying, but he told her that a woman like her could never be his wife. He promised her that he would be serving her divorce papers the minute he could. When she finally left, my dad apologized to me. He was so scared that he wouldn't be enough as a single parent that he thought it would be for the best if he married someone quickly. He thought I would need a mother figure. I already have a mom, and she was the best mom I could ever have. I don't need to replace her. He vowed to never remarry again, and that from here on out, it would be just him, doing the best he could to raise me alone. I knew my mom would be proud of us both. Thanks for watching! Please like and subscribe!